Yes, that's right. Power 95. Good morning to everybody that is locked on right now. We're inside of the morning trend, which is coming to you the kind compliments of Rick's Cafe. Walk in, dance out, and don't forget Rick's Cafe. They're operating with some new hours now from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you must place your final order by 4:30 p.m. So shout out to Rick's for making it happen. But right now, I've got to say a special good morning going out to Son of the Soil, Teddy Rhymes. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, brother. Good morning. Good morning.
How are you doing?
Well, safe and good health.
Safe.
Free from
Where
the COVID.
now? Where are you right
I'm,
now?
I'm locked down in New York City.
Oh boy, of all places to be.
I
New
know, I
York
know.
City. You're missing home right now.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. Missing
Mm.
the family, missing the friends, everything about Grenada.
So what are you doing to stay safe? To
Stay. I mean, just going by the protocols.
mm-hmm,
Inside all the time.
mm-hmm,
Hardly ever outside unless I need to be.
mm-hmm,
Getting groceries and stuff like that. And just trying to have a good mental health. Just pretty
mm-hmm.
much that's it. Yeah.
What would you say is helping you to stay creative during this time? Is it challenging for you? Given that, you're not out, you're not performing, and I mean you had a really successful year this year with Marshall and so on.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely it is challenging,
Mm-hmm,
especially just trying to be positive with so much negativity around.
mm-hmm,
Some days is more down than some, but I mean, I do my best. Always writing, try to come up with new ideas and just try to inspire myself. Try to read, you know.
mm-hmm.
That's something I've been doing a lot lately, and just
Reading.
watching documentaries and so on.
Oh, because I noticed some artists and some of your friends as well in the industry, they're developing new skills or discovering things that they could, that they probably weren't doing much of before this whole pandemic. You know, um, a lot of them cooking now. You know, some of them turning chef. In
Yeah,
themselves.
true, 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 true. I mean, you have to,
Mm,
you have to find something to keep you going. You can't just be sitting down home doing nothing. So this is the time to search yourself. See, okay, what other ways I could improve. And after this, we have a life after this. So right now is you can't just sit down. You gotta get up and do stuff in the meantime. Still, So
you say life after this. Is there anything you're going to do differently after this pandemic that you probably take for
yeah,
granted right now?
yeah, definitely. I'm going to take more chances. I
When you say
mean,
chances with what? Musically, with your writing, with what?
no, just my goals.
Mm-hmm.
Just my goals. I mean, nobody expected this pandemic to put them sit down for so long and pause everything.
Mm-hmm.
People with businesses, people with jobs, and they've been working their whole life towards their careers and stuff. People going to school, and this is an eye opener for everyone. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, once this thing gets back to zero, well,
Mm-hmm.
I pray to God it does. I
It
would
bet.
expect people to do more. I mean, in terms of just life in general. Just want to
Mm.
travel. Want to achieve your goals at a faster rate. Just want to do more entirely.
At what point did you realize that you were great at writing?
Um, that was when probably form two. I used to write a lot of poems to my girlfriend at the time, and she used to always tell me, "You're a
Yeah,
very good writer."
you
So
Grenadian baby face, right? Right? What? Right? Huh? Hmm.
yeah,
Also, that's how it started with you at that young age, form two.
yeah. Well, I was always into music,
Mm-hmm.
and just growing up in church, I was big in church. I was one of the guys who was always singing in church and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And always writing, always trying to come up with songs at that age, and just being in trying the relationship thing. That was so young. It was kind of easy to put my artistic side of me into that. So writing poems and short stories and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that was how I really got into just trying to do more writing.
Right. What do you mean by trying the relationship thing?
I mean, so young. I mean, I was young. I mean, I was 13. I mean,
Right.
I mean, I'm supposed to be into school, supposed to be into maths and
What's
English.
supposed to be? Right. Right.
Yeah, exactly. But you know how it is. young people, they meet somebody alike,
Mm.
somebody sitting next to you, somebody across the classroom, and
Enlighten me. Yeah, I'm
it
listening.
sparks.
Enlighten me. Right. All right. Nah, I ain't going to man. Don't do it up your head. How do you go about choosing a topic for a song? Like, I mean, what's the real process like for you? Because I mean, they're writers and they're writers, and everybody has a different style. What was your approach to writing?
um, well, it changed now. Before,
Mm-hmm.
I would write a lot of songs, ideas down,
Mm-hmm.
just random ideas that would come to me, based on conversation, probably from the barber shop,
Mm-hmm.
just conversations on general, anything that sparks an idea. I would write it down, have a list of songs to do,
Mm-hmm.
and once I get a beat, I would try to put those ideas into the beat and see if it works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Most times it doesn't. Um, but when it does, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, I just go natural. You send me a beat, producers will send me a beat, and I just try to create that energy that the beat gives me.
Yeah.
Whether it be fast or slow or whatever the energy that the beat gives me, I go off of that energy and create something that resonates with that beat.
So, what in your mind makes for a great song?
Content for sure. It has to stand out. It
Mm-hmm.
can't be a typical song, because it will just pass by. What I mean?
Right.
Everybody sings about, let's say, love. So much people sing about love. So much people sing about whining. But
Mm-hmm.
what makes it stand out? That's what makes the song a hit. That separates the song. So content, melody, definitely melody. Because you
Mm-hmm.
want strong melodies in your song. You want, after the 2 minutes or 3 minutes of the duration of the time that the song plays, that it sticks in the listener's head. You want it to be remembered on the first listen. So
Mm-hmm.
your melody has to be addictive. It has
Mm-hmm.
to be easy to remember. It
Right.
has to be short. And the song can be complicated. You can't put too much of things
Too
into the
much
song.
words.
Yeah, it has
That's
to
what
be
you.
easy to remember. Yeah,
Right. 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 Now,
yeah.
talking about hits, Sting Behavior 2020. You
Yes,
were
boy.
you were literally touring with Marshall all over Trinidad, all over
Yep.
the place, and he has a hectic schedule. How did
Yeah.
Sting Behavior come about? Was that one of those songs that you wrote it, you presented it to him? I mean, how did that come about?
Well, I wrote that song in 2018.
Wow.
Um,
2018.
yeah, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Song is like 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
2 years old. Marshall had a writing camp in Trinidad. Invited a lot of writers. I was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Went down there for 2 weeks, and well, only my friend know this story, right? This inside story. But I was able to write 9 songs during that time, and I was camp
During what period
MVP.
of time?
Yeah, during that
Nine.
period of time.
How long was that period of time to write 9 songs?
Probably 12 days
12 days,
approximately.
9 songs. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm a believer in not squandering opportunities, and when that opportunity presented itself, I
Mm-hmm.
just went into action, into let's get it done mode. Put all the friends and this aside and just focus on the music, and I was able to come up with 9 songs at the end of that camp, and I
Right.
was camp MVP, and
You're the
Marsh,
MVP.
yeah, on the camp, yeah.
Nice.
And Marshall said to me, I'll give you a feature,
Mm-hmm.
and I wrote Sting Behavior on the camp. And when he heard it, he started, he was ecstatic. He was happy. He was like, this is what I'm looking for,
Mm-hmm.
because them brass and that tune is no joke.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. And we went from there. That same time we recorded the best we could. And
Mm-hmm.
how things happen, after a period of time, when you listen back or you look back, you see ways and means how you can actually improve the song.
Correct.
And it took us a year, like a year and some.
Mm-hmm.
And then he told me, hear what, Teddy? I'm doing my album.
Mm-hmm.
This song is not going to be an album for
Mm-hmm.
Trinidad. You understand? So I think it's best we hold it back. You know what I mean?
Right. That was
Because the
our
song,
last year's album.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because the song wasn't. I mean, it was all right, but we still was kind of picky on certain things. Because I'm a perfectionist, and Marshall is a whole different
Yeah,
breed. Like when it comes to
that's a
being
different beat
like,
altogether. Yes.
yeah, he's a whole different breed when it comes to
Yeah.
being like a perfectionist. Like
Hmm.
so, yeah, like
But
my like my
do you think that being a perfectionist could is I mean, yes, it has its good, but it has its bad at the same time. Being
yeah.
that you probably overthinking things a little too much.
I mean, of course. I mean, it depends on your success. It depends on your success. I mean, if you're good at, I mean, if you're great at what you do, with
Hmm.
being that level of perfectionist, then by all means, I mean, if it doesn't work, then I think you should like switch up your strategy or something like that. Because
Hmm.
Michael
Hmm.
Jackson sometimes took 6 months. You know what I mean? And the song is nowhere. Sometimes 2 years, 3 years, and finally get it done. But
Hmm.
once it's released, you know what I'm saying? So as much as Marshall is the breed of like a perfectionist, Michael Jackson is a whole different,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I mean it all depends on, to me, um your success, like if it works, then by all
Mhm.
means go with it.
And what would you say about Marshall's work ethic that separates him from other artists that you've worked with?
Um, for me, he just want to try new things. Always
Hmm.
want to be with the youths. Always want to be okay. Well, what's trending now? You know, what I mean,
Hmm.
always want to be in the know. And always just he don't mind spending so much on his craft. And that's very important.
Hmm.
Because he had to spend. He had to invest, and he doesn't mind spending thousands of dollars on his craft. Sometimes he makes, sometimes he doesn't, but at the end of the day, it's what he does, and
Hmm.
it's working. So and that's something that really stands out for me.
Hmm.
Just always working with the youths, always trying to be in the know, always trying to just be trending, and
Hmm.
the topic of conversation.
The first time that you performed Sting Behavior with him, what was that like? And this is in Trinidad now, because they had a obviously big carnival and so on as always. But what was it like touching the stage and seeing the reaction to it the first time?
Man, it was a dream. It was a dream within a dream.
Hmm.
It I don't know. I still look for words at times. I
You
look
look
back
like you're
at.
speechless.
No, I mean, for anybody who knows me, I've been working on music for so long, and just humble guy from Grenadas, just trying to work on music. And, some people believed in me, a lot of people didn't,
Hmm.
like if
Hmm.
you know my story, but I mean, that never got to me. Like I knew what I wanted to do. And,
Right.
so to be given an opportunity, especially this year in Trinidad Carnival, just being on stage with Marshall, and
Hmm.
just seeing how he works, and the dancers to the backup singers to the the musicians on stage, and my presence being there, it was tremendous, man. I'm still thankful. I'm still humbled by it, and
Hmm.
yeah.
Do you think there's anything that Grenada could impart from your experience being in Trinidad with regards to Spice Mass in general here and even shows and artists?
Say that again.
Is there anything that you think Grenada, like
Mhm.
artists and even the overall Spice Mass product, could take a page from, or any advice you would impart based on what you experienced in Trinidad, traveling and touring so much?
I just think we need to be ourselves.
Hmm.
We can't be anybody else.
Hmm.
Grenada should just be Grenada. We job. The
Hmm.
people falling into it, everybody coming into it now, because it's different.
Hmm.
Trinidad has their own thing. Big up to Trinidad. The pretty mass, and the sweet music. I mean, Grenada has sweet music too, but when it comes to job, we just separate ourselves. And I think we should just stick to that. I think we should just hold on to that and just sell it to the world. And
Hmm.
because I mean, everyone right now, if Grenada had Carnival this year, it would have been the biggest Grenada Carnival ever.
Right.
Because I was in Trinidad and everybody was talking about Grenada Carnival.
Yeah,
every single body was
boy.
talking about Grenada Carnival,
Mm-hmm.
and I was really looking forward to it. But I mean, God knows best, so
Yeah.
we can stress ourselves on spill milk. So next year, hopefully, things could come into play and Carnival could
Mm-hmm.
happen again, and
Mm-hmm.
this COVID could go away forever, and
Forever,
it could
ever.
be even better.
Right. Now, every country has its own sound. Every country, with regards to soca, right, has carved its own sound. What would you say makes Grenada different from the rest of the Caribbean when coming to soca music, in your estimate?
Well, for me, it's the uniqueness of ideas. It's not like every day somebody goes sing Grenadas, or sing about a toy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the uniqueness of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of artists from Grenada, I mean, they're very brave. Sometimes I listen to a lot of songs, I'll be like, yo, this guy really sing that. But
Mm-hmm.
then, during the season, it catches on, and it adds life to the carnival. It
Mm-hmm.
gives the carnival like a second leg, a third leg, and it keeps it going. And that's one thing I admire about Grenada Carnival. It's just the uniqueness of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at like elsewhere in other islands, I don't think other artists actually takes chance like Grenadians. Like when it comes to soca,
Mm-hmm.
they stick to the typical idea, maybe, the whining, the party, the fets, but like we go above and beyond, like,
Mm-hmm.
the bop. you know
Wow.
I mean, for real, and it adds life to the carnival. It makes the carnival more entertaining, So
And entertaining is definitely the right word there, boy. The
yeah,
pop.
man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as we mentioned, Spice Mass is not happening this year, right? And they're promising. We have more time to make it bigger and better in 2021. What do you
Mhm.
think could be done to make it bigger and better? The Spice Mass product, the Carnival product, right now.
We have to advertise. We have to advertise our own
Hmm.
um,
And you're talking
advertisement.
outside of artists traveling and bigging up Grenada.
Yes, yes. Put together a nice, solid team. Artists as well on board. Have artists represent ourselves outside there.
Hmm.
Show the world, okay. And it has to be both ways. The government and the artists. Because we artists, we tour all the time,
Hmm.
so we are given the opportunity to sell Grenada.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just take use of the opportunity. Let's advertise.
Hmm.
Because advertisement right now is probably the number one way to sell a product, and has been that way for years. And especially now with the social media, we could use social media. And Grenada is very easy to sell. You know,
Hmm.
a lot of people come to Grenada just to try Grenada, and they fall in love with Grenada.
Hmm.
Not knowing how beautiful Grenada is, and
Before they step.
especially the yeah, and the people of Grenada is so beautiful. Their heart is so pure. It's just few Grenadians that think out of the box and get themselves into trouble, but the majority of Grenadians is very sincere people.
Hmm.
And people fall in love with Grenada. So I think we should really market Grenada
Hmm.
even more. If we did it like 25%, I think we should put 35% into marketing,
Hmm.
and sell it, and it would be a good investment.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Now for some of the younger writers, because right now, there are a lot of young artists that getting into soca music now, right? What are some of the mistakes that you're seeing they're making that they should be aware of, and in order to get better at it faster?
Well, two
Whether it
things.
be the business side, whether it be the whole approach to it. You working with professionals right now.
Mhm.
Starting how you started to now. What advice would you give to the younger writers right now that are exploring the soca business?
Well, as a young artist, young writer, someone new in the business, I would just say seek more advice. Being more knowledgeable about your product. Okay, you want to do music, learn about music. learn an instrument, learn keys, learn the most you could learn about music, and it's about writing the writing side of it, learn writing schemes, learn different ways to write just to improve yourself. Don't be so quick to release music. Sometimes you release music and you hear it on the radio and you be like, oh, I should have changed this, I should have changed that. And
Mm-hmm.
even me, I was in that part of people myself. I used to be like, okay, well, I should have really hold back that song and work on it some more. So that's an advice I would give the younger ones. Just try to spend more time with it. Don't be too rushy into releasing, because
Mm-hmm.
as a first time listener, your first impression has to last. You're not known as a Talpri or the Mr. Killer,
Mm-hmm.
the Dash. You're not known as these guys. So spend more time on your craft. Try to improve your craft and seek advice. You can reach out to me. Tell you what I think. Reach
Mm-hmm.
out to people who knows music.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you love what you do. Because you want to release something and be like, yeah, I did my best, and it
And
sounds good.
something I noticed too is that some of the younger artists, they don't take constructive criticism well. They view it as a fight down as opposed to something that will help them to move forward in their craft. I
Yeah.
mean, what do you think about that?
Well, that will come, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean they're young. They're young. They're like puppies in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So they think that it's good to them, so it should be good to everyone else. So
Right.
hearing criticism sometimes kind of break them. But it's
Mm-hmm.
a good break. It's a point, okay, to start fresh. It's a point
Right.
to grow. It's a time to get better at your craft. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's natural sometimes. Some artists are more mature than some.
Mm-hmm.
Some need the counseling. Some you just need to talk to them once. And I mean, even me, like, I mean, sometimes I took criticism harshly. I was young. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and yeah, I mean, eventually, you'll get better at it, and everything will just come into tuition. Everything should work out.
All right. Well, Teddy, we're just running out of time right now inside of the morning trend. I want to thank you so much for taking the time out for speaking with us this morning.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, and it's a pleasure. Always good to be on Power. Big ups to the listeners. I'm so happy Grenada is in a good place right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's out and people could move around.
Yeah, we could move
And
wrong to an extent for a period of time. We do still under the curfew and so on, but just make sure you stay safe in New York.
yeah. Most definitely, most definitely. I
All
appreciate
right.
it, man.
All right, Teddy, take it easy.
All right, blessings and love, brother.
All right. Yes, indeed. That was Teddy Rhymes right here on Power 95 inside of your morning trend, which came to the kind compliments of Rick's Cafe. Walk in, dance out. Don't forget Rick's Cafe. They have new opening hours right now. They open from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you must place your last order by 4:30. All right. Stick around. We got a whole lot more coming up inside of your